Hi friends, how are you? This is the Chaldonut speaking and welcome to ARK Survival Evolved. This is a early access game on Steam centered around living on an island filled with dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures that want to eat you. So it's a bit intimidating, I suppose, at first, but you get to tame and ride dinosaurs eventually, which is really exciting, and the game is a lot of fun. Now, today we're kind of going to focus on introducing those of you who haven't played the game to the basic features and concepts that are involved in ARK, and then go on a brief tour of what I've done so far in my single-player world here. So, for those of you who have played ARK, this isn't going to be really a true episode, but if you want to see what I've done, definitely skip towards the end of the episode and see what's there. Anyway, guys, when you spawn in first on an ARK world, you'll spawn in on a beach, and you'll have no items, and you'll need to figure out what to do. Similarly to Minecraft, this involves punching a tree. So, you're gonna go walk around, find a tree, and you'll need to punch it. And when you do that, let's just go punch one for demonstration, you'll get some wood and some thatch, and this, combined with stones that you'll pick up along the beach by pressing E when you hover over a stone, will allow you to make some tools. So if we quickly run over here and punch this tree, you can see we're getting some resources. And eventually, you'll break down the tree, and it'll fall over. This, of course, is just a stump, more or less, but you'll see we're getting some resources. And once you have those, when you're done, you can craft a pickaxe. And that's one of the first things you understand how to make. So if we go into our inventory, you would come over here, find the engram, which is basically the crafting recipe for a stone pick. And you'll see there, it takes 1 stone, 1 wood, and 10 thatch. So you would just click this and craft the item. I don't need to do that because I already have one, but that would be how you do it. And you'll also see, of course, that I have a lot of engrams. And how did I get all these? Well, as you level up, you'll see I'm level 25 by, crafting things, taming dinosaurs, killing dinosaurs, that sort of thing. You eventually level up, and each time you level up, you get to increase one of your stats, whether it's any of these. We'll quickly run down them. Health, obviously, is your hit points. When you run out, you die. Stamina. When you run out of stamina, you can no longer sprint. Oxygen is needed when you're swimming to stay alive and avoid suffocation. Food and water, pretty self-explanatory. But I'll quickly show you how you eat and drink. You just press the number of the food that's on your hotbar, and then you'll eat it. And you'll see on the right there, in the bottom right, there's that little drumstick or whatever that represents food, and you'll see it goes up as I eat. Anyway, to drink water, we don't need water right now, but you can fill this thing in slot 6 of my inventory called a water skin, and then you will be able to drink it by pressing that number again. Now, unfortunately, I'm not very thirsty, so I didn't demonstrate that all that well, but anyway, let's move on. So, after you increase one of your stats, most of these are self-explanatory except for torpor, which is basically a representation of how close you are to fainting, and if this reaches the maximum, you'll get knocked out. But anyway, once you've upped one of your stats here, you'll get some engram points, and what you can do with these is learn a crafting recipe. So if we go through, some of these will have different costs, so look at, let's say, the cooking pot. That takes 9 EP, or engram points. You can see we have 4 right now. But once we learn how to make it, we can actually craft the item, and we'll see its recipe in here. So that's how crafting works. Anyway, now that that's done, let's go over how you get dinosaurs. Because, of course, that's the main appeal of ARK, is riding and taming dinosaurs. So, the way you would tame a dinosaur is you knock them out first, and you can do that with tranquilizers. You'll see in my inventory here, I have some tranq arrows. And then you can also use a slingshot, which I have right here, and you can fire off some rocks at their head, and eventually their torpor, for instance, will go up to max, and then they'll get knocked unconscious. And then you try to keep them unconscious with either more tranquilizers and slingshot attacks, or you can use drugs to keep them asleep, and then you feed them. Eventually, they become your friend. And on that note, let's go over here and take a quick tour of our base. So we've got some dinosaurs, because I've been playing this game for quite a while, and I've had a ton of fun with it, which is why I'm excited to share this with you. And you can see we've got quite a few dinosaurs. We have Delta, who is a raptor, and raptors are really fast mounts. You can sprint with them, and they have a lot of the same stats, this is for all dinos, by the way, as you do. If we look at his inventory, which we can do right here by holding E, we can see he's got health, stamina, oxygen, food, weight, melee damage, and movement speed, as well as torpor. And when a dinosaur levels up, you can increase one of these stats just like you can with your own. So that's our raptor. Then we have May, who is our Triceratops. And Triceratopses are pretty slow in this game, but they're pretty good for combat, and they are great at harvesting berries, which are one of the food sources in this game. I can quickly show you guys. Oh, am I stuck on? Oh, I was stuck on Delta's back there. I can quickly show you how we harvest berries in this game. When you are just running around by yourself and not on a mount, you'll go up to a bush or a fern, you'll hit E, and you'll slowly get some fiber and some berries. Including, as you just saw, the narco berry, and that is used to make narcotics and can also be fed to dinosaurs to keep them asleep while you're trying to tame them. So as we come back here, let's keep going over the dinosaurs we've got. We have Azealia, who is our Stegosaurus, and she is, if we look at her stats, an absolute tank, very, very strong, but not all that fast. And then we have a couple of Dillos over here, Frill and Ridge. These are pretty early game threats, Dilophosaurus. They will spit poison at you, which blinds you for a period of time, and then they'll try to attack you and kill you. It doesn't work that well, usually once you're out of the very early game phase where you're still, making a pickaxe. You can just take out a spear and then attack them, and it's no problem. However, if we come over here and look at Zippy, different story. Zippy is a Carnotaurus. He is fast, he is strong, and he is deadly. It took a lot of effort to get him, because Carnotaurus is very able to chase you down and kill you. So early game, they pretty much mean instant death, which is why I am very excited to have him on the team. And if we look here, we can actually go into his inventory, and it turns out that we can level him up. So if we go in here, you can see we can increase any of his statistics right now. We're going to go with health, and you'll see he just got a whole bunch of additional hit points, and that's essentially how leveling up works. And now you can see he's almost to his next level, actually, because he's been sitting here. Anyway, these are all our dinosaurs, and I've built kind of a enclosure for them, because I can't always look after them, and unfortunately, there are a lot of dangerous dinosaurs that could come in and harm them. Like there's Spinosaurus, which are really massive carnivores that have these big spines on their back. And then there are T-Rexes, of course, which can just smash through wood structures and attack our dinosaurs. So what I've tried to do is set up this whole ring of wooden spike walls, which do damage if you run at them. Let me walk into it. You'll see I just took damage. So they're really nice for protecting against dinosaurs, such as, of course, Carnotaurus, which was a threat, but now we have Zippy. And just a note on the naming schemes I've been using. For the most part, I've tried to avoid diminutive names because names that end with Y and the E sound are not great when you're talking about fearsome dinosaurs. However, it's actually pretty funny, I feel like, to name the giant carnivore that could eat you in a second. Zippy. It just feels awesome. So that's why Zippy is named what he is, despite the fact that he is a giant dinosaur that could eat pretty much anything. So that's the situation there. Anyway, I suppose I should talk about this. This is our dinosaur gateway, which is really cool because it's really a lot like the gate in Jurassic Park. You know, it has a loud opening noise. It's really, really cool. Anyway, that is our dino pen, which I've been keeping all my dinosaurs in. Although, as you can see, it's actually a bit small, and we may be expanding it in a future episode. Anyway, if I come down here, this is my farm. I've been farming some narcoberry plants, and now I'm farming a mayhoeberry plant. And let me just briefly explain a bit about farming here. So you do have to irrigate your crops. So what you do is, you have an intake pipe, and then you send the water through a whole bunch of pipes to your crops. And the way you get the water to them, actually, is with a tap. And what's cool about this is, we can drink water straight from the tap by pressing E, or we can also access the inventory and fill our water skins with it by putting them in. You'll just see the little blue bar at the bottom filled up. Now, once you have water for your crops, and you can see, obviously, that if I hover over them, they're saying irrigated, you also need some fertilizer. And fertilizer can be compost or dino poop, which is a bit silly, but it's realistic, to be honest, and it is helpful for growing crops. So if we go in here, you'll also see that eventually, when a plant grows over time, as the description notes, you'll start getting the berry that the plant is from. So when you grow a narcoberry seed, which you can get by harvesting bushes, you'll plant it, fertilize it, water it, and eventually it starts dropping narcoberries. So that's our farm. I'm trying to keep that stocked because it's a great way to get narcoberries for taming dinosaurs. Now if we come over here, this is my house. It's a work in progress. I'm still trying to figure out the building in this game. But it is looking not too bad. I had different plans originally for it, but I'll go over what's inside right now. So in here, we've got some large storage boxes. These are basically your double chests in Minecraft. And then we've got a refining forge. This is basically your furnace, if we're going with the Minecraft analogy. And you can take metal, which you get from mining rocks. I'm sure you guys saw a couple of big ones out there. If we can find, like, you can mine small rocks like this with your pickaxe or with your axe. And then you'll get flint and stone, depending on which tool you use. Pickaxes tend to give you more flint. Axes tend to give you more stone. And then there are also some big rocks you can mine from. Let's see if we can find one. You can see one kind of straight ahead there in the distance. So those you can mine as well to get resources. And these small rocks give you pretty much the same resources as the big ones. But I think some rocks are able to give you more metal, which is useful later in the game when you're trying to get a lot of metal ingots to put in your forge and craft some tools. And the way you craft tools in this game that are made of metal is with this device here called the smithy. So if we go in here, this is essentially a special crafting table where you can make things like the pike. And you still need to learn engrams to figure out how to make these things, but the difference is they require this special crafting table to make them. Anyway, if we head upstairs in our base, we've got a second floor where I have a bed, which, like in Minecraft, acts as a respawn point. And we also have some storage boxes, just regular ones. And these are essentially the single chests of Minecraft. And now, well, single chests of ARK. So they have less storage space, but they are a bit more compact and can fit in a one-high space. Anyway, we have a little balcony here, which I like a lot. And then we've got a ladder. We can climb down if we open this trapdoor. We have to press E, I think, to climb the ladder. Let's see. Oh, did I accidentally walk back inside? That was weird. I think I just glitched through a wall. Anyway, we can hit E. Oops. This is kind of tricky because both things require E to use. But if we hit... dang it! This system's a bit unfortunate, I know. But you can hit E, climb up and down a ladder, which is convenient. Anyway, we've got our balcony, so that's that. And then eventually, we're going to have a ceiling here. If I can get on my ladder, that would help. We're going to have a ceiling layer here where we can land our flying reptiles and birds. There are a few species of flying animals on the island. There's pteranodons, which we see every once in a while, though there don't appear to be any around. And then there are some Argentavis, which are these big birds. And then I know there are a couple other species of flying reptiles planned, but right now it might actually be just 2. Anyway, that's pretty much the base at the moment. I'm hoping to get a roof on it and then make some details, or put some details in here. And then the last thing is I kind of want to make a chimney out of stone pillars. We can learn how to make stone pillars with some engram points eventually. Let's see, where are they? Are they in here? Yeah, stone pillars. Eventually, you can learn these, and then I'm hoping to build them up from the back, and then when we look at the front of the house, we'll see a nice balcony with some pillars to support, and then a chimney in the back, which I think will be pretty cool. Anyway, you'll see we just got a message explaining that we're cold, and I think this is the last detail we'll go over today. Temperature does play a factor in the game. If you're too hot, you'll lose water more quickly, and if you're too cold, your food bar goes down more quickly. So one way you can manage cold is by holding out a torch or standing next to a fire. Another option is to wear armor, and these will insulate you at varying levels. Some give you more insulation, some give you less. We can hover over and see hypothermic insulation and hyperthermic insulation, and then an armor stat and a durability. So that's how that works, essentially. You're going to get armor, more armor from better gear, but also varying levels of insulation for both heat and cold. So you have to manage things to get what you want. Anyway, guys, I know I've thrown a whole bunch of information at those of you that are new to ARK Survival Evolved. I hope you tracked what I said pretty clearly. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I'll try to answer your question as best I can. Anyway, guys, I'm hoping to get down to some new stuff on this world. For those of you that have played ARK before, we're going to explore new stuff. Maybe try to tame some dinosaurs. I don't know. But anyway, that is all the time we have for today, so I hope you have enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did. This has been the Chaldonut speaking. Goodbye, friends, and I will see you all next time with some more ARK Survival Evolved.